What if the next war isn't fought with weapons but with DNA? What if the next revolution happens inside your cells? We are standing at the edge of something irreversible, not artificial intelligence, not robotics, something deeper. The power to rewrite life itself, to edit skin, to redesign lungs, to print organs like spare parts. This isn't science fiction anymore. It's already happening. In sterile laboratories, beneath crowded cities, in private facilities hidden from regulation. Humans are no longer just observing nature. We are engineering it, and once you engineer life, there is no undo button. It begins with something called bioprinting. Imagine a 3D printer that doesn't use plastic or metal. It uses living cells. These cells are printed layer by layer. They grow, they connect, they form tissue. Blood vessels begin to pulse. Structures start behaving like organs. A cornea for someone who lost their sight. New skin for a burn victim. Hair follicles for someone who thought they would never feel confident again. Bioprinting is not just manufacturing. It's controlled creation. It's life guided by human hands. But the deeper we go, the more complicated it becomes. Scientists are growing miniature organs in labs. Entire hearts built from a patient's own cells. Lungs enhanced with microscopic toxin filters. Eyes with built-in infrared vision. Prosthetic limbs that connect directly to the nervous system. The line between biology and technology is beginning to disappear. As demand for organs rises, a new industry quietly expands. Facilities designed to grow replacement hearts, kidneys, and lungs. Some call them medical breakthroughs. Others call them organ farms. Rows of bioreactors glowing in sterile light. Each one growing a second chance for someone waiting. Donation lists begin to shrink. Survival becomes less about luck and more about access. And access has a price. Around the same time, cybernetic integration accelerates. Electronics are implanted into bioprinted tissue. Sensors are embedded into artificial lungs. They monitor air quality before it reaches the bloodstream. Nanofilters remove toxins in real time. Bionic eyes offer zoom and night vision. Soldiers see through smoke. Firefighters see through darkness. A blind man sees his daughter's face again. But upgrades do not stop at restoration. They move into enhancement. Stronger bones engineered with reinforced collagen. Muscles designed for greater endurance. Skin modified to resist disease. The question slowly shifts. Not can we do it, but should we? In underground labs, biohackers push even further. No regulations, no oversight, only curiosity and ambition. Microchips are implanted beneath skin. Digital tattoos display live data. Experimental viruses deliver genetic edits directly into cells. Some attempt to slow aging by manipulating telomeres. Others try to amplify memory and focus. Online forums call them pioneers. Critics call them reckless. A few call them the first of a new species. Because when you start rewriting your own biology, you are no longer just human in the traditional sense. Governments begin investing in artificial womb technology, controlled environments designed to grow human life outside the body, a process known as ectogenesis. For couples facing infertility, it feels like hope. For nations facing population decline, it becomes policy. Entire facilities are built to manage external gestation, temperature regulated, nutrients precisely delivered. Development constantly monitored by algorithms. Birth becomes programmable. Some celebrate it as liberation. Others fear it as control. If life can be grown in a pod, who decides how that life is designed? At the same time, cities begin to change. Buildings are constructed with bioengineered materials, walls that self-repair after storms, concrete infused with living organisms that absorb carbon, structures that clean the air as people sleep inside. Along the coastlines, living seawalls rise. Genetically engineered corals grow into protective barriers. They expand naturally. They heal after damage. They protect millions from rising seas. Streetlights are replaced with bioluminescent plants. Engineered algae glow softly at night. Entire neighborhoods shimmer in blue and green light. Electricity demand drops. The city feels alive. Until one night the glow begins to fade. The organisms decay without warning. Darkness returns to the streets. Rumors spread of sabotage and biohacking. Trust begins to fracture. Meanwhile, corporations unveil biohybrid robots, machines built with living tissue for flexibility and efficiency. Some resemble animals to blend into ecosystems, bird-like drones that move with real flocks, marine robots that swim like fish, and suddenly nature can no longer tell what is real. Militaries quickly recognize the potential. Enhanced reflexes, reinforced bones, bioengineered endurance beyond natural limits. Voluntary amputations become a classified option. Replace a limb with something stronger, faster, more precise. Soldiers return home upgraded, but upgraded does not always mean unchanged. Every enhancement carries a psychological weight. What happens when your body feels manufactured? When parts of you are patented? When repairs require corporate approval? The debate shifts from medicine to ownership. Who owns the upgraded body? The person living in it, or the company that built it? In secret facilities, extended gestation experiments continue. Scientists test longer developmental periods inside artificial wombs, exploring enhanced cognition, increased physical capacity, accelerated neural patterning. The promise sounds harmless. Smarter children, healthier generations, but evolution was never meant to move this fast. Somewhere underground, a biohacker inhales an engineered virus. It edits his sweat glands. His body begins producing natural insect repellents. Disease-carrying insects avoid him completely. He calls it progress. Others call it self-experimentation. A singer modifies her vocal cords. Her range expands beyond human limits, notes no natural throat could reach. Audiences are mesmerized, some are unsettled. An artist bioengineers living pigments into her skin. Her body becomes a moving canvas. Colors shift with temperature and emotion. Art is no longer worn, it is grown. A paralyzed boy walks again with a bioexoskeleton. Nerves interface seamlessly with synthetic muscle. He takes his first step. The room erupts in tears. In that moment, no one questions the technology. They only see hope. But across the world, biohybrid robots enter fragile ecosystems. Designed for research and restoration, some begin to outcompete native species. They adapt too well. Nature does not always welcome redesign. After a massive biohazard disaster, radiation floods entire regions. Humans cannot survive there. Biohybrid machines can. They clean waste, rescue survivors, restore contaminated land. They become guardians of a broken world. And then comes the question no one can avoid. If we redesign ourselves beyond biology, if we merge completely with what we create, are we still human or something entirely new? Maybe evolution was never just about survival. Maybe it was always about choice. For the first time in history, we are not waiting for nature to change us. We are changing ourselves, cell by cell, line by line, code by code. We can erase disease.
Vitals dropping.
We can rebuild broken bodies. We can extend life beyond what once seemed possible. But power without wisdom has never ended quietly. The same hands that heal can also control. The same science that saves can divide. A world of enhancements may create new inequality. A world of engineered perfection may forget compassion. When strength is designed, will vulnerability still have value? When intelligence is upgraded, will humility survive? The danger is not that we become less human. The danger is that we forget what being human means. Because humanity was never defined by perfect bodies. It was defined by empathy, by sacrifice, by love in the face of limitation. Technology can amplify who we are, but it cannot replace who we choose to be. If we step into this new era with wisdom, biotechnology becomes liberation. Disease fades, ecosystems recover, broken lives are restored. But if we step forward driven only by power, we risk engineering a future without a soul. The next phase of evolution is not automatic. It is intentional. It is written by policy, by corporations, by scientists, by rebels, and by ordinary people who decide what they will accept. We are not just designing new bodies, we are designing the definition of life. The question is not whether this future will arrive. It already has. The real question is this: when we finally master the code of life, will we still remember the value of a heartbeat? Will we protect dignity as fiercely as innovation? Will we choose compassion over control? Because in the end, evolution is not about becoming more powerful. It is about becoming more responsible. The future of humanity will not be decided in silence. It will be decided by the promises we choose to keep, and every line of code we write into life will echo for generations. This is not the end of humanity. It is a transformation, a turning point, a test of our wisdom, and the story is still being written